Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a trip to one of the creepiest, most twisted apartment buildings in horror history, none other than the Luzman Arms and Toolbox Murders, 2004, directed by the master of fear himself, Tobe Hooper. If you love a good mix of bloody slasher carnage and some supernatural chills, you're in for a treat. Toolbox Murders is a slasher horror film set in a decaying Los Angeles apartment building called the Luzman Arms. The story follows Nell, a new tenant, who uncovers the dark and supernatural history of the building. As residents begin disappearing, she discovers that a masked killer, known as Coffin Baby, is stalking the tenants and using brutal tools to murder them. The killer is tied to the building's occult architecture, which was designed with hidden rooms and symbols that allow him to move undetected. Nell must fight for her life while unraveling the building's sinister secrets. Let's kick things off with our lead, Angela Bettis. She plays Nell, and honestly, if you've seen her in May, you already know this woman is a horror queen. Bettis brings this raw, jittery energy to Nell. She's fragile but determined, and you're rooting for her the whole time. I mean, this building is a nightmare, and she's like the only one smart enough to realize something is seriously off. Bettis gives us a relatable and grounded performance in a world where things go off the rails fast. Then there's Brent Rome as Steven, Nell's husband. And well, he's pretty much the dismissive husband trope we've all seen in horror. But Rome does a solid job playing the skeptic. You get the sense that he's well-meaning, but totally oblivious to the madness happening around him, which, spoiler alert, doesn't work out well for him. The supporting cast of tenants is filled with weirdos, each one sketchier than the last. Sheri Moon Zombie pops up as Daisy, one of the tenants. Juliet Landau, Drusilla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, plays Julia, one of the tenants who meets a grisly end early on. But let's talk about Coffin Baby, the mysterious masked killer. While we don't get to see the actor's face, the physical performance is chilling. The character's presence alone feels larger than life, like he's a dark force tied to the building itself. And when he shows up, well, let's just say, no one's getting out in one piece. Back to Angela Bettis, she really holds this movie together. Nell's transformation from curious tenant to full-on survivor is something Bettis nails with each beat. You can feel her unraveling as she digs deeper into the building's sinister past. And when she's finally forced to face Coffin Baby, you believe she's fighting for her life. The tension builds perfectly in the final act, with Nell facing off against Coffin Baby in those dark, hidden passageways. Bettis delivers a frantic, desperate energy that keeps you glued to the screen. And Hooper, being the horror master he is, doesn't hold back on the brutality. One thing I absolutely love about this movie is the way Tobe Hooper blends two horror genres, classic slasher and supernatural mystery. The killer isn't just some random psycho. There's a reason he's there, tied to the dark, occult history of the building itself. It's like the building is feeding him victims, one by one. The atmosphere is pure nightmare fuel. The Luzman Arms is practically a character in itself, with its claustrophobic hallways, creepy tenants, and the constant feeling that someone or something is watching you. Hooper's signature style of building dread is all over this film. And don't even get me started on the kills. If you love practical effects, this movie delivers in spades. Now, I will say, Toolbox Murders isn't perfect. The pacing drags a bit in the middle, and some of the side characters are basically there to serve as body count. But if you're into slasher flicks with a supernatural twist, this one's worth a watch. It's brutal, it's weird, and it's got that signature Tobe Hooper flair that keeps you on edge the whole time. Have you seen Toolbox Murders? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror reviews.